Welcome, everyone. Hope you guys had a great holiday week last week. I'm excited to speak with you tonight. Before we get started, I just want to welcome you to the call and also just let Deanne kick us off with the market minute. Let's figure out what's going on out there. I've heard some good news and people.
Yes. Interest rates are remaining in that 6.5% range. The good news is the next time the Feds do meet, they're thinking that they're not going to make a big jump. They may make a slight market adjustment, but the 10-year is hovering about, let's see, it's in the high threes. And just always a good thing to think about is what the normal margin above the 10-year treasury is about 2 points. Right now, it's about 3 points. So if everything and inflation gets under control, that's why we're anticipating that once things settle down, we will have interest rates back in the fives. Awesome. So the markets are reacting really positive to the news. You may take a look at your 401ks and your investment accounts and notice that they are getting a little bit better as well. So optimistic, we're going to have a great 2023, and hopefully the last quarter is going to be a great time for planning for the new year's successes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Deanne, for that minute. Tonight, I'm very excited about the session because I think a lot of us are a little hungover and just all over the place. And so I want to get on the same page and kind of create a menu for you for real estate success. So Candace and I went over this today and she was like, absolutely, we are spot on. This is what everybody is needing right now. So I kind of like the visual tonight of a smorgasbord, and I liken this to my son. He's actually in culinary and he's going to be doing culinary school. And so it's going to be kind of fun because he's into the kitchen. I'm not. I'm definitely into the real estate kitchen though. And I think that if we talk about a few ideas that might just spark something for you, and then you'll take off into the first quarter of next year. So I'm all about ideas, but I really like the way that we've shaped this tonight, just to give you kind of a fresh approach. Maybe some ideas that you just haven't done in a while. And I'm just hopefully, you'll take at least one or two things out of tonight's call. So let's go to the next slide, Shannon. It's a menu. So it's meant to be something where you can pick off of the menu, right? Where you can actually build your own success. So let's go to the next slide. And if you have questions, certainly just pop them in the chat and we'll answer them at the end of the call. But here's how this kind of menu works. I'm going to give you like about 15 different things on the menu that you can pick that I know works really well because I personally did it myself. I know Candace uses something she calls 25 a day. It's kind of a similar version, but it's based on a point system. So you can kind of self-teach yourself on how to really boost your real estate business by working in a point system. It's a daily point system that holds yourself accountable. So I had Shannon do the test this weekend. I thought this was fascinating. So I said, okay, Shannon, this morning, let's go through how did your weekend shape? Now, mind you, Shannon works a full-time job. She works for Best Choice Monday through Friday. And so, but she does real estate on the weekend, right? She has some connections. So this is Saturday's point system, her menu. We went through and looked at the menu and said, okay, how do we mix your weekend? What did your Saturday look like? So she actually did 10 handwritten notes. This is without me, giving her the menu, which I'm going to give you guys today. She did 2 family events. So one I think was church and one was a family event. So she got 5 points for that. You don't get credit for 1. So if you did 2, it might be a little over. She had 2 different family events. It's a daily menu. So again, when you intake, those are you counting calories. We're not quite there yet. I'm enjoying the calories. Bring on the calories, right, Candace? So good food over the last week. But as we go into the new year, we want to make sure that we're really counting our points and getting set up for success. So you only get credit for the event, 1 a day. So you get 5 points for that. So I gave her, even though she did 2 on Saturday, she went to 1 family event and went to a church thing. She only got credit for 5 points. She previewed properties, 5 points for that. So she got that points. And then she did a consultation with a buyer. And she followed up with her, did her lead follow-up. So she got 5 points for that. And then she talked to 3 past clients. So she got a total of 26 points. And the goal is to a really good recipe. If you want, like my son's like, Mom, if you really know how to cook eggs, your eggs would turn out perfectly, like perfectly cooked the way that you have to cook them. And I still screw up eggs. Okay. So that tells you a lot about my cooking skill. I don't have it. He definitely has an interest in cooking. So to cook a good meal for the day, the goal is 30 points. So Shannon didn't quite get a perfect score, but definitely, now that she knows the menu and how to kind of pick off the menu, I think you'll see the next slide. She'll show you what she accomplished today. So I just kind of had her go through, and we got to work early because we had a listing appointment that we did with one of my close clients. And then she took a lunch break, and she definitely came into work a little bit early, so she wasn't on the clock. But she was able to get 31 points pretty easily. So I know this is achievable. Some of you are thinking, gosh, what is Rachelle selling? I'm not selling anything. I'm trying to help you and help all of us in building Best Choice Realty and getting things going. So she did 10 handwritten notes. She's hurried and did those real quick, 3 points each. 1 seller consultation. That was the listing consultation that we did. And we actually got the listing. So that's a 15 point. So we got a lot accomplished today. And then we did a buyer consultation. I think she did it on her lunch break. And she followed up with some of the leads. So that's a total of 31 points. That's a very successful recipe and a meal that she had on Monday. So congratulations, Shannon. She got a fantastic score and made a very, very good meal out of the cafeteria. So let's go to some of the ideas. I'll kind of drill down and give you a few hints of what I've seen work really well. So if you don't know already, we have listing and buyer consultations in our offices. All of the offices are stocked now with selling your property and buying the property. You can actually work with our marketing director, and she can actually build your own customized listing and buyer consultation if you choose. But I wanted to share, so not only do we have the supplies, and so making it very easy to have a listing or a buyer consultation, but I wanted to give you one of my best tips. And I actually did a training on this that I professionally recorded with Candace. Both of us are training on the listing presentation. So I'm gonna have that ready to go in the next couple of weeks, but I thought I'd give you a sneak peek to the 1 minute close. I tried it this morning with Shannon before we got to work at 8 o'clock this morning. And Candace, just like I did with you in the role play that we did on video, it worked like a charm. In fact, I didn't even have to ask 1, 2. I just asked 2 of those questions. And then I had Shannon go right to the listing contract, and we sent it to him through DocuSign. Or Authentisign. So the 1 minute close is what you do when you sit down at the table. Again, you've built a ton of rapport, you know the situation. This was a closed client. I actually sold him the condo about 5 years ago. He had a little reservation about the marketplace. I told him we'd get to that, but I just had 3 very important questions. And I didn't say 3, I just had a few questions to ask you. And so I asked him, do you absolutely have to sell the condo in Ballard? And he's like, yes, I have totally committed to moving. I want to reinvest my money in San Diego. And then he had a kind of a question or concern about the marketplace. Again, this is a doctor. He actually works in surgery. So he's a very well-known doctor. And number 2, I said, will you price the property to sell? And he's like, absolutely. I don't want this thing to sit on the market. I want to be able to invest my money. And then do you want me to handle the sale for you? He absolutely loved Shannon and I and was happy to have us help him with the sale. So all of a sudden in 1 minute, I closed him on a listing appointment. So my 5 points went to 20 points real fast because of the questions, the 1 minute close strategy that I've used. I think Candace saw that. I don't know if you've seen that in your past, Candace, but I think that was, it's interesting to kind of take that and run with it. If you are building a ton of rapport and this is a closed client that you already know, it's not very hard to get the listing. Right now is when they should be putting the home on the market. So 15 points if you list a sellable listing. Now I make mistakes too. I made a mistake, and you guys know, I'm just step right into it. The X is what the mistake. Really appreciate the patience with our sale. Glad we have someone willing at least to get offers generated, which we did. We provided offers, but far from where we'd like to be. we're not hurting to sell the place. This is what you don't want to have. So it's easy for us to wait it out. We've decided to take the place off the market, or we've decided not to list. Come spring, we'll try again. Those are not the listings you want to go after. You want to go after those sellers who have been thinking of, mom's getting older, I'm having trouble going up the stairs, I'm going through a divorce, I just don't like the layout, I feel like we're too cramped, I'm having a baby. Those are those lifestyle choices or things that are happening that do get those sellers to think about maybe putting their house on the market. So you get 15 points if you list a sellable listing. Let's go to the next slide. So that you get 15 points, and I'll send you guys tomorrow, I'll send out to everyone, to all of Best Choice Realty, just a quick one-sheeter where you have the menu. You could see how many points. So if you are listening to this later, there is a nice little PDF that we'll send all of you that you can use as kind of like your cafeteria menu. Showing homes. So I'm gonna let Shannon speak to this. Shannon, how did you earn some points on showing homes? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so this is one, the video that you guys are actually seeing on the screen is one that I did this last weekend. But I think every time you have an opportunity, if you're showing homes to a client, show up early or stay a little bit late and take the opportunity to do a virtual tour as well. So even though this weekend I was not actually showing a property to a client, or maybe you're new and you don't have clients right now, preview, get in as many homes as you possibly can. And if you can't share it to an actual client, share it to your virtual clients that are trolling around on Facebook and Instagram and all these places. So this is a sample, this video that you guys saw that you could do yourself. Doesn't need to be long. This one that I posted here, I was sharing with Candace earlier today too, because it got traction. I had people who are out of state that I know that are reaching out to me saying, I wish you were licensed in this state so you can help me. So it doesn't take very long, just takes a couple minutes, and it's certainly worth the time. So preview. If you don't already have clients, and if you do have clients, get out there and show them homes. This is the time to buy.
Awesome. Candace, do you have anything else to share? Because I think this is like Instagram, I believe, and I need to be better at that, obviously. If Shannon got a lead that came from this post, it's crazy.
Well, right? And I think what's awesome about just previewing, I mean, just think of what you have in your back pocket. I don't know if your upcoming listing is a condo in Seattle area, but just to have that to share, it's crazy. I just toured some properties similar to what we'll be listing. I mean, that's kind of what you want to be doing, you know, being prepared for your future clients.
Cool. So yeah, this does work. And I think not enough people are kind of just pushing the pause, like their clients, you know, and then I think you need to overcome that, right? There are opportunities. If Shannon just did one post and she's got a lead from it, it's like, okay, maybe I need to rethink how I'm displaying the work that I'm doing, or how am I promoting the work that I'm already doing. This is not difficult. This is something we've been doing for 10 years, maybe 15 years. But some of the agents that maybe used to do this, they're retiring, they're getting out of the business. So this is an opportunity for you to show homes and actually pick up more clients. So this is an activity that is 5 points that you should consider doing in a day. Let's go to the next slide. Write an offer. Nice, Shannon. Picture me. But you get 10 points. So writing an offer, if you're actually doing an offer for a client, you're moving the ball forward. And I know Deanne, yeah, people love viewing homes, but they love it when you write an offer for them. So if you are, somebody said this weekend, it was funny. I think I got a phone call on Friday and they're like, you actually answer your phone. It was like the day after Thanksgiving. I'm like, absolutely. I'm like, if you're deal making, if you're writing offers, call me, please. I would be happy to talk strategy with you. I know Candace is willing to step in and assist with listings or pricing or offers. I mean, that's where we make our money, is in helping you guys win at the offer writing process and also at taking those listings. So at any point in time, if you feel like you just need an extra set of eyes, give us a call. I did take that phone call and I'm writing something there. I don't know if it's an offer, Shannon. Another one you get points is call and talking to 3 past clients. That's 5 points. I think the most important is to thank them. I know November is always the month for thankfulness, but this goes without saying. actually throughout the entire year. I know Candace does this very well at thanking them for their business. So if you're kind of like, oh, gosh, I'm just running into just a roadblock, or I'm kind of just stunted. Maybe I don't want to do the social media. I don't want to put myself on Instagram, Shannon, no offense, but maybe I just want to talk to 3 past clients. I get so much out of that, you guys. Every time I do it and thank them for their business, or, you know, hey, it's so good. Did you know that it's been 2 years since we listed your home? They love that. They love hearing from you throughout the year, not just on that specific day. But thank them for their business. Ask them what they're up to. How's things going? How was your holiday? What are you planning to do in the coming, you know, months? Just care about them. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear from you. I don't think past clients hear from you enough. And a lot of times is because you get too busy and you don't make that a daily habit. It really should be a daily habit if you've been in this business longer than a couple of years. Invite them to an event, a client appreciation, a dinner, maybe a seminar. Candace, you've had some numbers. More seminars are being done, right? Is that
seminars? Yeah, classes, client appreciations, and sharing that as well, so that other people are seeing it across the board. But I was going to say something and I just lost my train of thought.
It's okay. We'll come back to it.
Oh, don't be scared that you have not talked to them in a while. This is the great time. It's an ample time to reach out. Even if you haven't reached out all year long, make it a point to do it. They do want to hear from you.
Yep, absolutely. Past clients are great resources. Let's go to the next slide. Expireds, for sale by owners. Some of you maybe don't have as many past clients or closed clients. So you may want to start exploring calling or seeing 2 expired listings or for sale by owners. This is one thing where I'm trying to figure out why my farm, my local neighborhood, why I can't pick up a few more listings. It's frustrating. And so I called a fellow top producing agent at Berkshire Hathaway and at John L. Scott that work my neighborhood. And I just asked them, what are you doing to pick up your listings? And you know what they said? This is what I'm not doing. One of them came from a for sale by owner on Zillow that they just called into, literally just picked up the phone and called them. That was the John L. Scott agent. And the other one, she's so good at picking up expireds. And I was like, well, go figure. She's actually putting in the time or the work. That's why she got the listing. So there's something to be said about doing this and doing it well. On the screen, I have a script that is the one that I used when I was calling for sale by owners or expireds. It was something very similar to this. This is the actual dialogue. I wanted to reach out and ask you if your home is still currently available for sale. Yeah, it's obvious if it's still showing up on Zillow, but that's how you start the conversation. Seller will always say, no, I'm not selling it right now, or I'm not listing it right now. They'll usually give you an objection. It's a smoke screen to get you off the phone. You always want to say, I completely understand. It's kind of a strange time. That I like that word, especially. I kind of changed that verbiage a little bit for you guys because it is a strange time, especially to be an expired or to be a for sale by owner. So then you want to ask a question. May I ask, once your situation, or once our situation, it's actually better that way when you say our, begins to improve, do you plan to put the property back on the market? Or do you plan to list the property on the marketplace? Depending on if you're calling it for sale by owner or expire, you just need to change the language a little bit there. The seller then says, yes, but I don't know when. I can appreciate that. Tell me, if you had the ideal choice, if that was exactly what you would want to do, if that's, you get it on the market and get it sold, when would be the most ideal time for you? So I could find you a solid buyer. Something to that nature is what I usually end with. And then these other little bullet points are some of the ones that I've caught myself saying naturally. Certainly it's scripted, but you can make it your own. Asking more follow-up questions around the timing. Sometimes, in fact, most of the time with for sale by owner and expireds, all we're doing is playing with the timing. So if you think about expireds or for sale by owners, what you may want to do is not just go after the expireds and just when expired. You may want to go back in time and look at expireds maybe from a year ago, or from 2 years ago, or from 4 years ago. That might be a better strategy than just going after the ones that recently expired. Although the one in my neighborhood, that's what it was. It was a poorly done listing. that it expired because they priced it bad. They had a renter that was living in it. They needed to clean it up. And the listing agent was definitely not the person they wanted to go with. And so they went with one of my friends at Berkshire Hathaway. So that's kind of the idea there. And if they still say, I'm not sure, it might be still better to wait, I have an idea, because you do want to sell eventually. So here's what I think has worked for many other sellers. What I'd like to do is research the marketplace for you and provide you a home valuation and come and take a look at your property so I can assist you when the time is right. Would you be open to meeting on Thursday or Friday? That's all I do. You guys, there's not like a perfect way of asking for the business. You have to do the actual work though. So 2 points. And that's because many of you just don't do it. You just need to kind of get in a habit. And it does take quite a few phone calls to get somebody to say, yes, I'm interested, Rachelle, in having you come out and look at my place. So it does work. I've seen agents do it and they do it very well. If you want to practice the scripts, there are plenty of Best Choice Realty brokers that would be happy to script with you and practice with you so that you feel comfortable and confident making those calls. But I know it works because I've just called into a few of my friends. 25 people. Can you call 25 people? Not everybody's going to pick up the phone, right, Candace? We know this. I know my numbers. You guys, when I was making phone calls, prospect for business, and I called 25 people in my database or leads that I had purchased. If I called 25, I could call 25 in about an hour, hour and a half. That's what I pretty much managed. I know Candace is the same way. You can call anyone, any of the technology, AI technology, HomeBot. I mean, just in the past 7 days, I just got this morning. In the past 7 days, HomeBot drove 8 clients. Why would I not pick up the phone and out of my 25 people, call those 8 people? Those are great. They actually had interest in their home value. And I just call and see if I can reach them at home. If I don't get them, I leave a voicemail. Likely people that are likely to list would be your HomeBot people. They are wanting to know their home valuation. So those are likely to list. But just anybody that you find in your phone, if you don't have a CRM, shame on you because we have a free one. But you should be using some sort of methodology so that you're making those daily contacts, because 5 points is a pretty easy thing to do. And if you call 20, if you call 25, you're going to get a hold, the odds are you're going to get a hold of 4 or 5 people. And that's on a bad day. And I know that people are picking up their phone right now. So that's a huge miss if you're not doing that. And if you're looking for ways to pick up some business, that's an easy one. Doesn't cost much, just your time.
Yeah. And I think I'll pipe in. I think it's an opportunity thing too. You don't want to be one of those agents. I had one over the weekend where I was like, gosh, why didn't I call her? Because you look it up, I'm preparing everything for all these holiday cards I'm about to send up. And I go, darn it. She bought a house not even 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So what can you do? I could have done a better job about following up and calling her a little bit more regularly.
It's a contact sport, is it not? Right?
Yeah.
Let's go to the next slide. So that's 5 points to do that. Knock or pop buys, you think 25 doors. I thought this was crazy when somebody told me they did 25 doors, but you know what? They picked up 2 listings. I do 2 hours worth of work to pick up 2 listings, and that was done in Spokane. I couldn't believe it. I interviewed this lady and she told me she did knock 25 doors. She did it once a week. It was one of her things that she did, her recipe for success, her menu item. I'm like, that's on my menu. We totally could do that. 1 to 2 hours, 25 doors, 5 points, give them something of value or give them the market sheet. We talked about the market sheet last week where you could just print out, from the MLS or from your title company about their zip code or about their property, and then or an invitation to their open house. That might be in a preparation for the open house you might be doing on Saturday. You might want to block out your Thursday to spend 1 to 2 hours doing some pop buys or some knocks. And I know, Shannon, we had a new agent that had great success on that, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. She was door knocking to invite the neighbors to her open house. And, those are all potential sellers. They may not sell today. They may not sell tomorrow. But if you follow up with them on that particular house that's in their neighborhood, you build that rapport and trust, they might list with you.
That's awesome. Let's go to the next slide. I've got some pop by gift ideas. Hopefully you saw these because I sent it out and I think Candace sent it out as well. Some of you don't check email, or maybe you got way too many Thanksgiving emails. I don't know about you, but I got a lot of those Thanksgiving emails. But these pop by gift ideas, we made it really easy for you, especially during a busy holiday season. It's a perfect way to show appreciation and nurture those relationships and get referrals. So what Lori created is 3 pop by ideas. I'm going to do my neighborhood. I think that the easy one for me would be just the poinsettias. I think all my neighbors love the poinsettias. And if I just dropped off the poinsettia with May Your Holidays, that one was great. So basically, Lori's created the tag. All you have to do is print it with color. It looks a lot better with color. And then she's even got it so it's set up where you can easily cut it. And it's like an Etsy, right? Where you can, instead of going to Etsy, it's already done for you. It already has a logo. Put your business card with it, maybe put it on the tag with it, and then put that on a poinsettia. I know Home Depot sells them, Costco sells them. I mean, I can just go ahead and do that. The gingerbread house is a very fun idea. The gingerbread house is something that one of my friends on the East Coast is doing. She basically has a contest. So she gives all of her close clients, she goes to Costco, she buys like 40 of her best people. She hand delivers, she pops by all of the gingerbread houses, and then she sends out a blast text, and she's like, the best one, and she puts in her social media, the best gingerbread house will get a trip. And she has like some sort of like a Salish Lodge type of a gift card that she gives the winner of the gingerbread house contest. Super fun. Again, just have fun. And again, it's a way for you to just network and to show you care, give them something of value. And hot chocolate, if you don't have the budget for the gingerbread house or the poinsettia, I said, Lori, give me something that's simple, that would be fun and just easy. A mug with some hot chocolate, and just wrap it with a cute little warm wishes and your business card. That's easy. It doesn't cost much, right, Candace?
I mean, you can get the mugs at the dollar store now. Yeah.
Yeah, and just pop that. I mean, people just they actually care more about the act of giving and that gift, and that you actually took the time to go and drive by or pop over and just say, hey, I left something on your doorstep. They love that.
Yeah.
The tags, we'll go ahead and have that sent out again tomorrow with the menu. So if you missed it maybe, or it got misplaced, we'll go ahead and post it again on the group page on Facebook. And we'll also send it out in an email tomorrow for everybody. So if you missed it, we'll go ahead and get that out tomorrow, and then you guys can get your tags printed and get something out the door and get that going. Mail 5 personal handwritten notes. You get 3 points. You can't sit behind the little desk and just do all these note cards. Although I've seen people who do a lot of personal handwritten notes and get a lot from it. So I know you don't get as many points for the daily, but if you just wrote personal handwritten notes and you got 3 points, and you did gratitude cards or thinking of you. I even sent something to a referral partner who was a licensed real estate agent who used to be my boss on his birthday. He was blown away. I sent him a birthday card to Mike Tenori. Some of you know him. And he was like, I never have got a birthday card in the mail. He goes, maybe I'm getting too old. Never too old to get a birthday card in the mail. If you have somebody that's on your Facebook and you're like, gosh, I haven't been able to make touch, or I just don't feel uncomfortable, go get them a birthday card and pop that in the mail and make that one of your 5 personal handwritten notes. Anniversaries are great. Christmas cards are awesome. Some people are like, well, what do I write in the card? Maybe English is a second language. I had Candace, you want to share what you do in your cards? You actually thought.
I mean, I keep it very simple. Hey, it's Candace. I haven't talked to you in a while. I hope you and the family are well. If you need anything real estate related, please make me your first call. Remember, my resources are your resources. And that's kind of like, it's so simple. If you need anything real estate related, I want to be your first call. And it's asking them too. So it's not just, and throw the business card in there and that's it.
Yep. We have those thank you cards. If you just want some thank you cards with Best Choice Realty, that it's already done. You don't have to go to the store. They're 50 cents, so that it's nicely done, and it gives you a nice blank card to write in. So if you want those, just let us know. In all of our offices, we have a stock of thank you cards. Hold an open house. So I know that the open houses are happening because all of my A-frames are being checked out, and that is coming to a close. I'm going to let you guys all know tonight that program will be a rental program, not a borrowing program, come January 1st. So if you are like, I need a kit it's probably time to kind of invest in your business if you're going to be doing them regularly and have your own kits. We can buy them one by one. You can buy 3, but it will be a rental program come January 1st. So enjoy it while you have it right now. But every open house A-frame is completely checked out in all of my offices right now. So I know open houses are being done, and if they're done right, they also can produce results for you. It's a 5-point thing that you can do. I will say that open houses, if you're just going to do a basic one, it's just simple. It doesn't really matter the time of day. It just matters that you have spent the time and money in preparing for the open house. So proper advertising, don't just hurry and do one. Shannon, I think one of your mentees did an open house, and how many people came through? It was like...
Yeah. I've had a newer agent that I'm mentoring, and she hosted an open house this weekend. I think she's on the call. So I'll give her full kudos for it. So good job, Peroska, this weekend. But she hosted an open house over on the east side, which I think in that area was at least a $2 or $3 million house. And she had 6 people come through. I mean, those are 6 opportunities, 6 clients in that type of price point. Was it worth the 2 hours? Oh, yes.
She got 8 through. Just a correction, that was 8.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I mean, and that's huge. I mean, those, even again, just like with the sellers door knocking the neighbors, they may not sell today, they may not sell tomorrow or buy in this case, but that's someone that she can follow up with, and she will win with them in the follow-up. They've already built that rapport with her when they were there.
So we have open house supplies. We have a checklist that you can use if you haven't done open houses in a while, or you just kind of want to dust it off. We are seeing great success from open houses with others in the neighborhood. You got to pick your time. You got to get yourself prepared and organized, and you do need to have your research done and make sure it's the right open house. But the right open house can get you 5 points for your daily activity, and definitely prompt that business for Q1 for you. So it's just planting seeds. Let's go to the next slide. Lead follow-up, spending about 30 to 60 minutes a day and just following up with those leads. I wish we could get more points, because I think it's one of those things that, at least in my business, I win on the follow-up. That's where a lot of your competitors, they do the one and done. And that's not, they either get the listing and then they don't follow up, or they, go on an appointment, but then they don't follow up. So lead follow-up is super, super key. When you have a listing, definitely follow up. If you have a buyer that has not purchased before, maybe you took them out and showed them homes, definitely want to follow up. Ensure that they're on the auto search. I think this is one of Candace's things. She's making sure that all of her leads that she's actively working with, maybe that didn't buy or sell, make sure they're on the automatic notification system, either through the MLS or the CRM. And every now and then, again, this is an example of one that I texted, and I hadn't heard from this client in about a month. Right, she was actively looking for properties in kind of the Kirkland, Bothell, Woodinville area. So I sent her a text. It went like this: Rachelle wanted you, well, actually Shannon sent the text. Good job, Shannon. Rachelle wanted you to see this one. She was looking at some investment properties this week. We know it's 150K over your budget, but it's an investment opportunity ready to rent in the Juanita community. Already has a tenant. Paul would love the garage, and the yard is huge. City home with the country feel, significant remodel. So I just basically took that listing and prompted that follow-up. And of course, wow, that's a massive lot. I'll share it with Paul and see what he says. Now we've got that process going again. Now she's excited about looking at things again. You can't just do the one and done. Some of you that are new, it takes follow-up in order to get that lead to actually make the appointment with you. Go on the appointment, didn't find them the house. Now I got to follow up with them to get them to go look at some more properties. So then they're ready to go for an offer. You might be missing the lead follow-up, and that's the only thing that I could probably tell you that is stopping you from being a top producer at our company. Attend 2 events with 10 people, or it's actually attend 1 event with 10 plus people. So that was a little boo-boo on our part before we send the slides, but it's just an attending an event with 10 people plus. Not real estate related. Maybe it's an educational event. Maybe it's a holiday party. Maybe it's a church group. Maybe it's a local PTA. Maybe it's a local board. I know Shannon's going to be joining the Chamber of Commerce in her local community. It's doing something in a local way where you have an impact with approximately 10 people. If you do that event on a regular basis, maybe you do it once a month, maybe you do it once a week, maybe you build it into your schedule. That's a 5-point item, and it definitely helps in building your business. There's an example there on the picture where I partnered with the local school district and donated coffees for the teachers. That's an awesome idea. That's will also nurture your database and your sphere of influence. Let's go to the next slide. Be friendly. Hand out 10 business cards. I know because I see the reorders, some of you guys are not handing out enough business cards. And those of you who are the commercial are probably the exception to the rule. If you do more commercial than you do residential, you're probably not handing out a lot of business cards. But those of you that are doing residential, you should be handing out 10 business cards. And that should be something you do naturally. When you go into the coffee, you meet somebody, you give them your business card. Hey, I do real estate. It's not hard to do. I mean, if you're not doing the business cards, you should be wearing your custom apparel, or you should be wearing your real estate name tag. One of our top producers, he's like, I said, what makes you a top producer? He says, you know what? The one thing that I've always done since the day I got licensed was I always wear my, what did he call it, Shannon? It was like a $10,000. I always use my $10,000 tactic. And I'm like, what's your $10,000 tactic? And he goes, it's my name badge. I wear that everywhere. And he was the top seller when he was at Best Choice. He's now moved to, I think, Arizona. Or maybe Palm Springs. I'm trying to remember where he landed, but he sold out at the Insignia Towers. He was the #1 seller when the Insignia Towers downtown Seattle were being built. You know why he was? Because he didn't do any advertising, or he didn't do any purchasing Zillow leads. He was in that lobby meeting and greeting people as they came through off the street. And you know what he was wearing? He was wearing Best Choice Realty, and his name was Don Perdue, and he was a machine. And he had his cute little, sometimes he'd bring his little dog, I think, in his little cute stroller. It's kind of, he lived in that complex. And so he was wanting to sell that complex. And he was the #1 salesperson in the Insignia Tower when they built the first tower. He used the Best Choice Realty, his $10,000, whatever he said it was. I was like, what is $10,000? What have I missed? And that's all it was. I didn't miss it. I just need to be better at wearing my name tag. So if you hand out 10 business cards in a day, or you're actively promoting yourself by wearing the apparel, I would say I'd give yourself 3 points, because that is being friendly at the restaurant, at the gym, while you're boating, while you're golfing, while you're running. Some of you get out and walk every day. Maybe that's a good thing to do. Wear your apparel, and you'll get 3 points for that. And you'll see how this all tallies up. I think we're wrapped up. Is that the last slide? Oh, the last one. Share your results. # Best Choice Realty, so that we can see your results. We can help. We can be your cheerleaders on the side. Share your results with social media. I love what Candace did November 3rd last year. She said today was a closing day, and she shared this. She got a lot of reach. And again, that prompts others in her sphere of influence that are maybe considering, if they see Candace is actively out there meeting with clients or touring properties or doing some of the prospecting activities that it requires, all of a sudden they're interested as well. It's like the whole Twitter concept, right? They follow, and most clients want to follow successful people. And so do not think that you're too busy. You've got to be able to share your results, because that will actually prompt more business for you. So positivity is contagious. And if you can # Best Choice Realty, we will be happy to share and boost you and get you promoted, because those are the stories that people want to see. They want to see success, and they love to see results like this. So I think that was all I had, Shannon, for the night. But if you want to go back to the first one, and I'll take a question if we need to. But the first, the menu, if you want to just kind of pull up how you did it. Yep, perfect. That way that you can see it. I apologize. Was there any other questions? Candace, did I cover everything? I think I did.
Everything, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, tea is always good, Deanna. Right, exactly.
This is my jam, actually. I cannot wait to get started and do some of these extras and share on social media and see how my February turns out.
Yeah, so take the challenge. I think this is kind of the Monday, Shannon. I mean, it didn't take much. I mean, how long did this take you, Shannon? I mean, the appointment was about an hour, right? On the consultation, the lunch.
Not long. I mean, I think some of the things that I think I did, here, let's see if I can slide to the next slide. Yeah. So for the weekend example, 10 handwritten notes. So, I mean, this is the time of year where you can start sending out Christmas cards. In my case, I was actually sending out thank you cards, you know, and taking that whole Thanksgiving approach very personally in that way. And then events, I mean, there's Thanksgiving events, there's holiday parties, there's, you know, my husband, at his job, they do these work events. I was like, that's a great opportunity for me to go, you know, maybe wear that gear, maybe have my name tag on at those types of things, even though it feels kind of weird to do it. You know, it's something that I'm putting myself out there. Preview properties, that's something that you can share with people. It's something you can also do with clients. Consultation. I mean, that was just, in this case, I think the one that I did this weekend was someone called me, and they had questions. They're like, what is this whole interest rate thing? Like, how does that actually impact me? You know, let's talk about that.
They thought, when you told me it was like 8%, they thought it was 8%, you guys.
Yes, they thought it was an 8% interest rate that is average right now. And I was like, well, let me be the bearer of good news. Good tidings, right? Let me be the Santa Claus today and tell you it is not 8%. So there's a lot of misconception and fear that the media is generating. And I think we can be the bearers of the good news and the good opportunities that are out there.
Okay.
And yeah. And I think
so all in all, I think it was like, you know, this probably what took you, if you were strategic, right? If you were actually look at the menu, right? On Saturday, if you actually had the menu, you had like the 15 different things that you could pick.
Of what I would do. Yeah. So, I mean, in this case, the handwritten notes, that probably took about 30 minutes to an hour. The event, probably an hour of my time. Previewing properties, 30 minutes to an hour. Consult was like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Follow-ups, maybe half an hour. And then talking to previous clients. For me, it was kind of a double whammy in some respects because they were also at some of the events I was going to. So, I mean, all in all, that's not even a couple hours that you're spending on something like this.
Okay. So it may be just nudging you with one more activity, right? If you actually had a cafeteria style menu, you could easily get to 30. It wouldn't take you all day long. It's not even a full 8 hours. Secret, right? It's not a full 8 hours. If you're actually strategic in doing the prospecting activities, it's not hard. So I think we'll wrap with that. Thank you, Shannon and Candace and Deanne, for helping out. I think Aria had a question. How do you handle cards for the family? Do you put your business card in it? I reference Aria. You're going to get one of my holiday cards. I send it out to all of you as well as to all my friends and family. And I do reference Best Choice Realty, or in the past, I just put the card in the back. I don't put the card in the inside of the Christmas card if it's a flapped one, but there's nothing wrong with putting your business card in the envelope.
I think there's several ways to do it too, Aria. I know for my holiday cards, we do a newsletter that we put inside the card as well. So, I mean, Rachelle puts her business card is a little bit more forward, I think, in that way. And I do a full on newsletter on what we've done. You know, it's an update that I send to everybody on what I've been up to in the year. So there's several ways to do it.
Okay. And then I think did we get anything else that came through on your text? Okay.
No, I think we're okay.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully that was helpful. You guys enjoy. I'll send out the menu tomorrow and do your best. See how you do. And if you have any questions about it, Candace and I and Shannon are here to help you. And I know Deanne is looking forward to helping you get some of those questions answered. Deanna, you're available on the weekends, right? And at night. So bring it on.
Yeah. And I think if you guys need an accountability partner, you know, you're always welcome to call us and check in. I think Candace and I
don't be scared to reach out, guys.
Yeah.
Text message, shoot me a text message, what have you. I'm here.
Yep.
Okay. Have a good one. Thanks, you guys. See you soon.